Hello everyone, my name is Cyrene and thank you for clicking on this video. I don't do a lot of traditional videos, but I thought this would be fun since I'm stuck at home sick with a cold, and I really like to do just kind of like relaxing things during these days. I don't like to push myself too much when I'm sick, but I do want to keep busy doing art, so I figured I would make a video that I had planned for a while. Bamboo is already making noise in the background, so I'm really sorry if there's any noise from my cat or me sniffing or coughing. Yeah, I can't help it because I have a cold. So in this video I'll be doing something fun. I shop at Flying Tiger, which is I think a Danish shop a lot because they have a lot of cheap stuff for around the house, but also art supplies. This sketchbook is a sketchbook that I've been using for a couple of years now. It's definitely my favorite sketchbook so far because it's only €3. There's a lot of paper in it and it has like a ring band, so it's really easy to just flip it over and use it on the go because I sketch a lot on buses, trains and stuff like that. So it's really convenient. I really like to sketch sitting down on a couch or something like that. I don't like big books or anything. So I've been using this for a while, and I was shopping and I noticed they had a new product, and that is their new set of markers. They have several colors, but they're basically like the type of markers that a lot of people use. Comparable to the kind of markers that you have called Copics, everybody knows them, but also Pro Markers or Letraset, or I think that's the three most used brands. But they have basically made their own cheap version of this. I think I paid about €2 or €3 for these three markers, so they're €1 or less per marker, which is extremely cheap compared to, for example, Copics, because Copics here, I think the cheapest ones, the Kiao versions, I don't know what it's pronounced like, they're like €4, and then you have the normal markers that are like €6. So this is definitely a really cheap solution. So I was kind of wondering how well they compare or if they're usable at all. So I'm going to try them out on this sketchbook paper from Flying Tiger themselves, and I have a white cardboardy kind of paper as well, which I like to use because it's quite smooth and it's a very different texture from the more thin yellow textured paper that the sketchbooks offers. I really recommend this one for example for sketching because it's really nice. But yeah, I'm going to open this up. I haven't used them at all, so it's going to be a first impression thing. Of course, the what's it called? The packing material is not cooperating. It's very nice. It always happens. Okay, I think I got it to open. So there's 3 markers in each set. I don't think they're refillable, so that's kind of inconvenient, but they're so cheap you don't really have to. In every set they offer a few shades of a color. So I chose this one because blue is my favorite color, or at least blue-like colors, blue tones. So they have a greenish color, a light green bluish color, and a what's it called? I guess sky blue is something you could compare to, maybe a little bit more on the turquoise aqua side. So I really like this set, and I'm going to try out how it works. So like Copics, they have 2 tips. They have a wide tip and a small tip. And this is easy for details, this is easy for large areas, and I really hope that okay, I really hope that the large tip is going to work well, because what I like about Copics is their you know, the colors in general. They have a lot of colors, and I would still be using them combined with these markers, I think, and I would prefer to use these for like large areas, for backgrounds and such, because you don't really want to waste your Copics on that. You want to use those for small and detailed areas only. So I'm gonna just try it out. I'm gonna go start with the lightest color, and I'm gonna see how it looks. Maybe they're just broken ones and I can't use them at all. Okay, so that looks pretty green, but you know, it never looks the same on paper, so I'm just gonna try and do some color swatches. That's pretty close to what Copics look like as far as I know. Okay, they have a a pretty sturdy tip. I'm gonna see what it does if I write a line with it that has a little bit more curve. Bamboo really wants to join in another video. I'm just gonna try to ignore it. Okay, so it does write pretty smoothly. It isn't flexible, but it's not too hard either, because I don't like that either. Bamboo, je mag niet in de video. I love you too. Okay, so then this green color, because I think that this one did come out a lot more green than I expected, but it's a nice color anyway. It's kind of minty. Okay, I'm expecting this one to be like forest green now. There you go. But oh, that looks really cool. I really like these colors so far, and they're really vibrant. They're really nice. So I'm pretty impressed. And the last one, it's a very blue color. I do think the downside of it, oh, they really match well together. The downside of it is though that I don't think they will blend together very nicely, and I think they made this set to add 3 colors and make it kind of like blendable, I guess, to make sure that you can make different areas look more interesting and have more depth. But I don't think that will work very nicely, but we can try it out anyway. We can see what it does if you try to blend them. And I'm gonna ignore Bamboo because it's not really handy at all. So I'm going to try to blend these two together because I think those match the most. I'm just gonna use the white tip for this, and I'm just gonna brush on a little bit. I'm gonna switch to this one. Okay, that definitely doesn't blend. Now I'm gonna do something that a lot of people won't like, but I like messing around with art materials. Okay, they don't blend at all. They don't do anything. So that's definitely something that you want to keep in mind. They are nice colors though. It could also be, of course, the paper. It does soak up a lot, so that's not going to do a lot for blending. I'm not a traditional art material expert, so don't take my word for it. So I'm going to try and see what it does on this kind of paper. It's a lot more smooth and it's more comparable to marker paper, but I don't have any marker paper on hand because I haven't been using markers in general lately. So I'm just gonna try and see what it does on here. I'm just gonna do simple color swatches with the white end and see what it does. Okay, the colors still look very bright and I do like it. What I do notice in comparison to this paper, it does soak up less of the ink, so it is a little less vibrant, but it should be doing a better job at blending. So I'm gonna try and see what it does if I try to blend. Okay, so first I'm gonna use the light color and then the dark color on top. Okay, once again, it is not blending at all, so you shouldn't expect that from these markers. It does blend a little bit better, but it just really distorts the colors a bit. I think it could work if you want certain effects, if you want to do more graphic designs, but it doesn't work for very soft, intricate designs. I can see what it does if I add this bluish kind of color. But then again, I think that if you make a gradient with a bit more harsher lines, it could look very interesting as well. So you can overlay them definitely. Okay, so these two do blend a lot easier in terms of color. The light one is just really far away, and it doesn't blend as well. So yeah, these work together much nicer and they blend into a gradient almost immediately. So these would be really good for background gradients, things like large areas of clothing. I think this could actually do a really good job in your art arsenal. Okay, thank you Bamboo for that information. I hope your opinion counts in some people's minds even though you're blind, but yeah, I'm pretty impressed with these markers and I think I'm going to use them because they're so cheap, and I don't really use traditional art materials a lot because most of my work is digital. So I don't want to spend my money on expensive markers because I've used Copics in the past, but I really didn't want to spend my money on it because I'm not going to use them. I'm not going to use them up either, because you know, when you open them and you have them laying around, even if you don't use them, they're going to dry out eventually, and it's just a big waste of money. And I do think that these compare pretty nicely. The colors are really vibrant and they're really cheap, so I definitely recommend these. Actually, I'm going to try to do some illustrations with them, and I will definitely post them on my social media. So if you're interested in seeing what I do with these in terms of illustration work, you can check out my social media. I'll have my girlfriend edit some of my names in here. I am on Twitter, which I post a lot of my work in progresses on. I'm on Instagram, on which I post most of my artwork, and I'm on Facebook, so you can follow me on there and check it out. Aside from that, yeah, I would definitely like to see what you guys think of these markers. I really recommend you getting these. The only disadvantage is that I think you cannot get these online. You have to get them in the Tiger store. But yeah, I really think they're a great option, especially if you're on a tight budget or if you're not eager to spend a lot of money on Copics, for example. So I think that was it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was useful to you. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!